My name is Ellen Holste, and I am the Research and Community Engagement Manager at Pierce Cedar Creek Institute. Today, I'm going to introduce you to some of the opportunities that take place at the Institute every summer. The goal of this particular presentation is to give you an overview of the Creative Arts Fellowship. If you are interested in our other opportunities, please check out those videos on our website. Here, Cedar Creek Institute is a place where lots of different things happen. We're a nature center, a science education center, a nature preserve, as well as a field station. We have 850 acres and over 10 miles of hiking trails, which are free and open to the public dawn to dusk. And our mission is to inspire appreciation and stewardship of the environment. We are located just south of Grand Rapids, kind of in that triangle between Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, and Battle Creek in southwest Michigan. As I mentioned, we are a nature center, so we do a lot of things that a typical nature center would do. If you're interested in seeing some of the opportunities that we have with that, please check them out at cedarcreekinstitute.org. We're also a science education center, which means we have a lot of field trips that come out to us, a lot of different school groups that also come out, as well as we go into the schools and write some curriculum for the local schools. We are also a nature preserve. With those 850 acres, we take care of them. We have a couple of greenhouses on property where we grow native plants. We have wild rice projects, prescribed burns, as well as many other restoration projects. But most importantly, for this case, we are a biological field station. Now, if you look up in the dictionary what a biological field station is, it'll say it's an establishment for scientific research where experiments are carried out, studies of practical application are made, and information is disseminated. But what is it really? Well, to me, a biological field station is where you have an outdoor laboratory. You get to go outside and experience nature. It's also where facilities are there that can help you in your learning process. And it's also very much a community, getting to know other people within the field station. So, what is a biological field station? Well, to me, it's a place to make lifelong friends, network with colleagues, and create a community of learning. Our biological field station has been occurring for many, many years, since 2005. In that time period, we have funded over 200 projects and over 300 students. Part of our field station is a consortium of member colleges and universities. Currently, we have about 10 colleges and universities that are part of our field station, and students from these universities and colleges can apply for our summer fellowships and grants. In 2026, we have a few different opportunities that you can apply for. We have some 12-week programs, which include our environmental research grants, our natural resource fellowships, as well as our STEAM education fellowships. We also have a 6-week program from mid-June through July that is our creative arts fellowships. Today, I'm going to be focusing most on our creative arts fellowships. However, if you're interested in our creative arts fellowships, you might also be interested in our STEAM education fellowship. This fellowship aims to nurture the development of promising students interested in STEAM, so science, technology, engineering, art, as well as mathematics education as a profession. Check out our other video on natural resources and STEAM education fellowships on our website. Our Creative Arts Fellowship is the one I'll be focusing on. Those fellowships aim to nurture the artistic development of promising student artists and writers who are interested in creating works influenced through a close interaction with the natural world. This is a paid residency program, meaning you get paid to do art. The amount that we will be paying our students in 2026 is $2,500. It is a stipend that you get in 2 installments. The actual program starts June 15th, 2026 and lasts until July 24th, 2026. On August 5th, there will be an artist showcase as well as an art sale if the students choose to sell their art. During this fellowship, art and writing mentors will work with students to help foster growth and development. And this experience combines field experience, service opportunities, as well as creative community immersion. So what type of things are we looking for? Well, we're looking for everything and anything. Projects may include a number of visual and writing art forms, but are not limited to these forms. So, in terms of our visual arts, painting, photography, drawing, printing, video, you name it, we'd consider it. In terms of creative writing, poetry, short story, nonfiction plays, you come up with your own ideas. The one thing that unifies it all is it needs to have some sort of nature science influence. So these are some examples of past things that have been funded. So this is a representation of our beech maple forest on our property. This is a beautiful representation of a snake and all the things that are in the same habitat as this particular snake. As I said, it's not just visual arts, but it's also writing. So this was a poem that was written about gazing at the stars. We've had a few students influenced by our natural features in terms of our water features, so the fish that live in those waters. Another student was inspired by oaks and decided to do oaks in a few different ways. They did more of a natural illustration, then more of what I consider something you'd put up on your wall. And then the third one is oaks and all the things that eat those acorns. Again, a different type of art. This was more of a digital artist, so they did 3D renderings of things that were out in nature and then created their artwork on the computer. And this is more of your digital art, more of your comic type art. So we're going to hear from one of our creative writers and what his experiences were like at Pierce Cedar Creek Institute.
My name is Cass. Well, I saw it advertised at the community college, and since I'm kind of new to writing and creative writing in general, I thought this would be a nice opportunity to kind of test it out, see how I like it, whether I want to do it as something larger long term. So my project this summer consists of strictly poetry, and what I really want is a collection that has a lot of coherence, a lot of sinew to it. And right now I've got a lot of disparate pieces, but I'm gonna work on revising them to bring them together. A lot of things, there's not anything I would say that I do, like I don't have a ritual, but things, if I'm like struggling, always go for a walk, and you have to feel the rhythm, you know, any sort of repetitive action, even washing dishes, you know, like scrubbing, anything like that. My daily routine here, usually get up and come to breakfast, which is at 7:45, and then I kind of work on the porch or over in the education building. I like to write in the mornings because that's when everything's kind of fresh and I have a lot of energy. Like 9 to 11 is my most productive time. And then I spend the afternoon doing other things, reading or walking around, things like that. It's been going really well. I've got a lot of good writing down, and I think that probably the most helpful thing about being here, being in this space, I mean, the space is inspiring, but the people and the peers, the other writers have so much talent, and meeting with them very frequently, getting their feedback, giving my feedback to them, it's been a very helpful process.
Sometimes our visual artists as well as our creative writers work together to create artwork. So this was a little zine that was created by a couple of our creative artists. And sometimes they work together also to sell their art. So this was another page that one of our artists, our visual artists, created the artwork on it, whereas one of our creative writers actually created the essays that are inside. So what other opportunities are involved in our Creative Arts Fellowship? Well, we do ask that you do some service hours. This lets you know the natural world a little bit better, as well as get to know us. We do have weekly meetings with mentors to get feedback on your art. There are also many, many education and social opportunities that you can take advantage of while you're at Pierce Cedar Creek Institute. We also offer food and housing accommodations. So you will be living in one house with all of the rest of our creative artists. You will get your own room. And we also offer breakfast and lunch Monday through Friday throughout those 6 weeks. We also give you your own space to create art inside, but we very much encourage you to go outside. Other important information. So these fellowships are eligible to undergraduate as well as graduate students in our consortium member colleges and universities. And if you forgot what that list was, check them out on our website. Recent graduates can participate in the program, but only if they graduated in the last 6 months. So for example, if you graduate in December of 2025, even if you graduate in May of 2026, you are still eligible for these fellowships. Applications are due February 27th of 2026. So if you are interested in applying, get those in by February 27th. And the announcement of all fellows will be made no later than March 30th, 2026. Other specifics in terms of the application, again, that application is due February 27th. You will be applying with a cover letter, an artist statement and description of why you want to participate in the program, an unofficial transcript, a resume, a recommendation letter from a faculty member, and we also want you to give us some representative work samples. This lets us know what type of artwork you've created in the past. We also have 2 options or 2 different tracks that you can apply for in 2026. You can apply for your own project, so you want to work on your own artwork. It'll be directed by you. Again, you will have those mentors to help you through the way, but this is your own ideas. You also could apply for a client-based project. So in this sense, you would be working with PCCI, so Pierce Cedar Creek Institute staff, on a particular project that we're interested in. You would be given a budget, you would be given, obviously you have a timeline, but you also would be given specifics, and there'd be a lot of feedback back and forth throughout those 6 weeks. One thing that I also want to mention, there is a line that says you have a budget of about $100 for supplies. Don't go out and purchase those supplies right away. You'd have to get institute approval on what supplies you purchase, but that's all included on this paid residency program. So we also encourage a lot of connections with some of the things that we're doing at Pierce Cedar Creek Institute. So for the past so many years, we have had a box turtle project on our property, which has inspired some of our artists. We also do a lot of prescribed fire restoration in terms of our prairies on our land. And this has inspired one of our past art fellows last year to use the charcoal from those prescribed fires to create her artwork. So what's unique about a summer experience at Pierce Cedar Creek Institute?
Hi, I'm Liv. I have been working on a bunch of colored pencil drawings of different fish that live in Brewster Lake, which is the lake here on the property. I've been working on a smaller scale, so I've been able to focus a lot on research and just having fun and exploring and all that stuff. Waking up and getting some coffee and going for a walk definitely gets me started every day. I come to the education building and start working on some drawings until I can't do it anymore, and then I'll go for a walk and wrap up the day with hanging out with all the other art fellows.
So hopefully this has answered a few of your questions about our creative art fellowships. If you are interested in applying, please check out our website. It's at cedarcreekinstitute.org. If you go to the experiences tab and then the research part of that, you will find our creative art fellowships. That is also where you'll find our natural resource and STEAM education fellowships that I mentioned earlier, if you're interested in checking those out and checking the video out as well. This is your inspiration for these fellowships, so hopefully you get a chance to come on out. As I said, we have over 10 miles of hiking trails, and check us out. We'd love to meet you. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me. Email me, call me. I would love to hear your questions. I'd love to answer your questions. Have a great day.